Hi, I'm Jeff Meyer from LeNs, and today I'm going to take a look at the Nikon D7100. Like the Nikon D3200 and D5200, the D7100 has a 24 megapixel sensor, but Nikon has left off the low-pass filter. Low-pass or anti-aliasing filters are usually put over a camera's sensor to reduce the risk of moire interference. This occurs when photographing subjects with fine patterning that is close to the camera's resolution limit. The downside of using them is that the image is softened and needs sharpening post-capture. So does omitting the filter from the sensor make any difference to the images? Our tests indicate that it does. At the lower sensitivity settings, the D7100 can't resolve any more detail than the D3200 or D5200, but the images look a little sharper straight from the camera. And when the sensitivity is pushed up a little, the D7100 can resolve more detail than either of these two Nikon cameras, although the images are also a bit noisier. Another interesting feature of the Nikon D7100 is that the central point of its 51-point AF system is sensitive down to f8. This means if I mount a 70 to 200 mm f4 lens via a 2x teleconverter, the camera will still focus the lens automatically, despite the fact that the maximum aperture is reduced to f8. The focus takes place while the aperture is wide open, in this case at f8, and the aperture closes down to the selected aperture for the exposure just before the shot is taken. The focus mode is set using these controls on the side and this dial. As we've seen before with Nikon DSLRs, in continuous AF mode, the camera can be set to track the subject using 51, 21, or 9 AF points once you've selected the starting AF point. There's also the 3D tracking mode, which works well provided the subject color contrasts well with the surroundings, although it's not a good choice for shooting team sports where the players have matching shirts. With a decent lens, the focusing is fast and accurate in most situations, including very low light. Inside the D7100 is the same X-Speed 3 processing engine as Nikon's other recent SLRs, including the D4 and D800. This allows a sensitivity range of ISO 100 to 6400, which can be expanded to ISO 25600 if necessary, although I wouldn't recommend it. This engine also enables a maximum continuous shooting rate of 6 frames per second. However, this can be pushed to 7 frames per second if the 1.3 times crop mode is employed. It's useful if you want to frame a distant subject tightly and reduce file sizes, but many photographers are likely to prefer to crop post-capture. Like the D7000, the D7100 has a collection of JPEG-only special effects that can be accessed via this option on the mode dial. These effects can be previewed on the main LCD screen and are selected by rotating the thumb wheel. As you can see, the screen image lags a little, but it's not too bad. Helpfully, the word effect is visible in the viewfinder, so you won't forget which mode you've selected. The D7100 feels nice and solid in the hand, and this silky textured grip gives good traction. All of the important controls are within easy reach, and you can check the setting by pressing this info button. This button here allows you to change some key features such as the image area and noise reduction settings, although it seems odd that this also gives a quick route to customizing the use of the preview and function buttons. The D7100 is capable of producing superb images with lots of detail and natural color. However, it's worth keeping an eye on the image histogram, as the matrix metering doesn't always do what you expect. And that concludes our review of the Nikon D7100.